Well, hello all. Do we know how the end times are going to play out? This is a talk about eschatology or the end times, and I've had various opinions at various times on how it'll play out, and here is my latest feeling of how it's all going to end. I personally don't think we're quite close to the end time yet, for reasons that I will explain, but here is my explanation of how it's going to all pan out. So I believe that the end time is going to take, let's start here. Let's say it starts at naught, time naught, and it's going to last for 9 years and 8 months. So it's 9 years and 8 months. So there's going to be a period of 7 years. So let's see if we can get this about right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's year 7, which I'm hiding. I guess I could have tried to get those divisions slightly more even. Let's see if we can do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years and 8 months. So there's the 8-month period. So I believe there's going to be Mr. 666 is going to come and he's going to rule. So Mr. 666 is going to rule for 7 years. So I believe that it's going to start out with 10 kings called the 10 toes of Daniel. And I may insert some scriptures in between. So these 10 kings are going to start out, and among them is going to be Mr. 666, and these are going to be 10 Western kings, and I believe Mr. 666 might even be POTUS or the President of the United States. The other 10 may include the UK, Britain, France, Italy, Germany, and many of the bigger Western nations. So it seems to be, according to Daniel, and I'll insert the scriptures, that he makes a covenant with them for a week. And then in the middle of the week, he breaks the covenant with, it says he'll make a covenant with many for a week. And in the middle of the covenant, in the middle of the week, he'll break the covenant and set up the abomination that makes desolate. And this is the winged. Notice here how it says the overspreading of abominations. Now, if one goes to Strong's, if you look at overspreading, it's kanaf or winged. Kanaf, and it means wing. So this means that the abomination that makes desolate, this image, this idol, will be winged. Image, I believe, of a seraph that he's going to set up somewhere in the holy area, maybe on the Temple Mount or maybe in the area where the Wailing Wall is, in Jerusalem, and that is going to be set up at 3.5 years. So here's your 3.5 years where you're going to get this winged image that's going to, golden image that's going to be set up. Maybe it's something like, that image that the Israelites looked to that was on a pole. Who knows? I believe it's going to be an animated image because it says that it has the ability to, the beast that rises out of the earth has the ability to give it life. So it's going to be like an animatronic thing, you could say, almost like, what's that thing that Megan Fox stars in with those Megatron and all those things. Anyway, it looks like it's probably going to be some sort of animated image. Notice here in Revelation 13:5, and he, this beast that comes out of the earth, he has power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So to give life to the image, it's almost like an animatronic, animated image something very 21st century. And it's going to be set up, and it's going to be set up very suddenly, because you're going to, if you're in Jerusalem and you see this abomination being set up, you're told to flee immediately from the fields and from the rooftops, and not to come down and flee, because now Jerusalem's about to be destroyed when the abomination is set up. Notice here in Matthew 24:15, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of the house, neither let him which is in the field return to take back his clothes. Woe to them that are with child, and to them that give it suck in those days. So you're told to flee. So this is set up so suddenly that you don't even have time to come back into your house. The daily sacrifice is going to be stopped. So it seems like in this area of Jerusalem, in the 3.5 years, these Western nations, I think, are going to set up almost like a temple or a tabernacle, and there's going to be sacrifices. And then when this winged abomination is set up, maybe in the same places as the sacrifices were performed, it says when the daily sacrifices are taken away and the abominations that's set up, then know that the destruction of Jerusalem is at hand, and people are told to flee to the hills. And then Mr. 666 is going to implement the mark of the beast, which means you're going to have in your forehead or on your hand. You're going to have to accept this if you want to buy or sell. So that takes you then to 3.5 years. And God says that for this 3.5 years, or 42 months, Mr. 666 is going to be given unlimited demonic power. Notice here, and there was given unto a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he's going to be able to force everyone to either accept the mark of the beast if they want to buy or sell anything, and if they don't want to accept the mark, they'll be killed. Notice Revelation 20 verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Christ and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. You see, these were beheaded who had not worshipped the beast. So the penalty for not worshipping the beast nor receiving his image is being beheaded or killed. So that's why I say that we don't seem to be living in that sort of zeitgeist or that sort of epoch or era when people would accept this. We must come to a time when it's going to be acceptable that it's okay to kill people just because they don't want to bow down to this image. And if you accept the mark, you're going to have to bow down to this image, and that's going to be totally annoying to Christ. And if you accept this mark of the beast, you're going to be basically doomed. So your choice is then, if you accept the mark of the beast for 3.5 years, you'll be able to buy and sell. And then at the end of this 3.5 years, the beast loses its power. Then there's a period after the 7.5 years of a month, that's 30 days. And then there's another period of 45 days. And that adds up to a period of 75 days. Notice in Daniel 12:11, and from the time the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that makes desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So that's the 30 days from the 1,260. And then blessed is he that waits and comes to the 1,330 days. So this adds up to 75 days after the 1,260 days. So that takes you to 75 days. And then at this stage are going to occur all the heavenly signs. So the heavenly signs are the sixth seal. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heavens departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth and the great men and all them Every free man hid themselves in the dens and rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountain and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And then the saints are going to, at this stage, be raptured and that is the time after this 7 years and 75 days. Then the saints are no more on earth. Those people who've survived being persecuted by Mr. 666 are going to then be raptured and be saved. Then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken and the other left. And two shall be grinding at the mill, one shall be taken, the other left. But there is, for the remaining period of time, which is apparently from here to the end, is a period of 965 days. We are told that from this time to this time is going to be 2,600 days. From this time to this time, there's an additional 30 days, and then there's another 45 days. And we're told about this in Daniel, and I'll give the reference here below. So that takes you to a period of 2,600 days, then a period of 290, that's the extra month, and then a period of 2,335 days, that's the extra month plus 45 days, and then the saints are raptured. Then Matthew 24 goes silent, and now we have the start here of when the heavenly signs are over and the saints are raptured. We have the pouring out of the 7 last trumpet plagues and the 7 last vial plagues. Here in Revelation 8 verse 6 onwards, it talks about, and the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound, and the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. They were cast upon the earth, and the third part of the earth was burnt up, and all green grass. And the second angel sounded, and so on, and the mountain burning with fire. So from all these things that now follow occur after the saints are raptured. And these last a total of 965 days. And this is where God's wrath, this period in between this is called the Great Tribulation here. The Great Tribulation. That lasts for 3.5 years only. What comes after the Great Tribulation is the God's wrath. So between the Great Tribulation and God's wrath is this period of 75 days. And then God's wrath includes the 7 last trumpet and 7 last vial plagues. So that is how I understand that end time is going to play out. And the Bible says, blessed is he who comes to the 1,335 days, which is this period, which is the tribulation plus 75 days when the rapture is going to occur, and when then the wrath of God is going to be poured out on the rest of the earth, and there's no saints on earth to experience this punishment. So that is my current understanding of how things are going to play out in the end time.